All right, so what I'm going to be presenting is working with fractions to develop intentional talk. The question: in the fall of 2016, I conducted a research study with the question, what is the greatest content need of students in my school? For this research, what I did is I went through a series of rating scale questions and open-ended questions. I surveyed 9 grade level teachers 1 through 5 within my school. The survey included questions that asked teachers to rate the math content areas their students were strongest and weakest at. The survey also asked teachers what content area they felt least confident in teaching. Out of the 9 surveyed, 9 teachers completed the survey. The survey data information was used along with the NUIA data. The NUIA data was analyzed to see what content areas students in grades 1 through 5 were strongest and weakest in. In the two sets of data, the survey and the NUIA data was then combined to see trends and develop a conclusion as to what content areas students were weakest in my school. So with the data findings, my goal for the professional development I am planning on are in 2 parts. So there's a student goal and a teacher goal. So with the data that I collected, I found that operations algebraic thinking knowledge, more specifically fractions, was the weakest area for students within the grades 1 through 5. And in correlation, there was also a discomfort or a lower comfort in teaching operations in algebraic thinking, fraction, Common Core standards. So both of my goals are centered around those 2 findings. So the student goal says students will increase their operations in algebraic thinking knowledge based on spring math NUIA scores from a level of 37.2% in the low to low average range to less than 30%, being in the low to low average range by the spring of 2009. Now, the reason why this specifically says just operations in algebraic thinking is because in the NUIA it does not break it down into just into fractions. It's one content area overall. However, the teacher goal is more specific, where it says, through professional development, teachers will gain a better understanding of what operations in algebraic thinking fractions, or algebraic thinking fraction Common Core standards mean, and will practice strategies to teach these particular standards as measured by pre- and post-teacher surveys. So what I developed are why and because statements. So why are students performing low to low average in operations in algebraic thinking? This could be because teachers within grades 1 through 5 feel they are weakest in teaching operations in algebraic thinking in the fractions area. Why do they feel weakest in this area? Because they don't fully understand the standards that need to be taught. Why don't they fully understand the standards that need to be taught? Because training has not been offered to look at the strands in each grade level for teachers to practice these standards themselves. So with this in mind, what I will be doing is I will be doing some professional development with teachers that are within the grade, in this case, grade K through 8 realm. The evidence, I'm going to be bringing in some new instructional materials to be available to teachers to aid them in providing fraction instruction to their students. Also some strategies: teachers will participate in math workshops to discuss the fraction standards at their grade levels and unpack what those standards mean. At the same time, teachers will be learning strategies with the help of intentional talk to develop structured and productive mathematical discussions. So this is a 2-fold professional development strategy or plan that I have in place. What's going to be happening is I'm going to be implementing some ways that teachers can have meaningful discussions in their classroom are centered around math, and those ways or strategies to have meaningful discussion will play into some fraction activities that we will be doing within our professional development. So I'll basically be modeling the strategies for this intentional talk while we are conducting our fraction practice or fraction activities. Teachers will participate in math practice workshops to practice strategies and using the new materials in their classroom. At the same time, these strategies will will be taught in correlation with strategies to engage students in math discussion, moving along with the chapters of intentional talk. So the student outcomes or the anticipated results that I foresee are teachers will have better access to math materials or manipulatives that will be used in the classroom, and teachers will have the resource intentional talk available for reference. More outcomes and anticipated results are teachers will develop a deeper level of understanding of the operations and algebraic thinking content area, more specifically fractions. Teachers will implement new strategies in their teaching practice using the materials they have gained, and students will gain a better understanding of fractions. The evidence also will be that teachers will, first, take a pre-professional development survey to develop baseline data in regards to current knowledge of and comfort teaching the Common Core standards for operations and algebraic thinking in fractions. And the evidence for that will have the materials been purchased, have math workshops been scheduled, are books available within the school, and have math workshops been conducted. Other evidence or monitoring will be, are the materials helpful in the lessons? Are the materials being used for math in the way the teacher has intended? Is the teacher implementing what they learned in their math practice workshop? And another piece of evidence will be a pre and post assessment to be done to understand student learning. So that will be via fall and spring NUIAs that are conducted to see if the learning goal has been met for students. So my professional development plan has been put together. I have not conducted this professional development yet. The dates are scheduled for January 24th, March 7th, March 21st, and May 16th of 2018. The teachers who teach math in elementary age, K through 5, and middle school age teachers will be involved in this professional development. In the end, teachers will have a better understanding of Common Core standards for operations and algebraic thinking and fractions, and how to teach these standards by structuring and leading productive mathematical discussions in the classroom. All the professional development sessions will involve 2 math activities around fraction Common Core standards, while integrating the focus for the day from intentional talk. So my plan for each session, since I have 4 sessions, session 1 will include teachers gaining an understanding of what intentional talk is and the principles behind it. They will also gain an understanding of what open strategy sharing is and what it looks like in the classroom. In session 2, teachers will gain an understanding of the targeted discussion around comparing and contrasting ideas and getting to the why, and have students justifying their answers. In session 3, teachers will gain an understanding of targeted discussion around what might be the best way to solve a problem and why, and defining and clarifying new objectives or new objects or manipulatives in the learning of mathematics. And session 4 will include teachers gaining an understanding of targeted discussion around working through confusions and helping students building an understanding of the math, and how reflecting upon what our discussions consist of will help us in our own learning.